What if I told you that the most important indicator of your health after 60 isn't your cholesterol level or even your blood pressure, but the silent, rhythmic work of two bean-shaped organs currently sitting just below your rib cage? That there is a biological filter in your body so sophisticated that no man-made machine can truly replicate its precision, and yet, for many of us, this filter is slowly becoming clogged, worn down by decades of silent use. It sounds like the start of a medical drama, but I am not talking about a sudden emergency. I am talking about a quiet, creeping decline that affects millions of seniors, often without a single outward symptom until it is almost too late. But here is the breakthrough. I am also talking about a brand new wave of nutritional science, much of it emerging in just the last few months, that suggests we can actually support and even repair kidney function through specific, targeted dietary choices. By the end of this video, you are going to know exactly which 4 foods are being linked to significant improvements in glomerular filtration rate, the gold standard of kidney health, the specific science of how they flush out toxins, and, most importantly, how you can incorporate them into your daily routine starting today. So stick with me, this one matters. Hey, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, this is the place where I dig into the real science behind aging, longevity, and internal health. Without the hype, without the scare tactics, and without trying to sell you a miracle supplement. Today we're tackling a topic that genuinely shocked me when I started looking at the latest data from the National Kidney Foundation and recent clinical trials. Chronic kidney disease, or CKD, is often called a silent epidemic. It affects an estimated 37 million adults in the United States, which is about 15% of the adult population. But here is the number that really matters for our community. For those over the age of 65, the prevalence of kidney disease jumps significantly. In fact, research shows that nearly 38% of seniors in the U.S. are living with some stage of kidney decline, and we need to be very direct about how this affects different groups. The statistics are striking. According to recent health data, Black Americans are about 4 times more likely to develop kidney failure than white Americans. Hispanic or Latino Americans are about 1.3 times more likely to develop kidney failure than non-Hispanics. These aren't just numbers. They represent a significant disparity in how aging affects our internal organs. Whether it is due to genetic predispositions, higher rates of hypertension and diabetes in these communities, or environmental factors, the reality is that the aging kidney is under a unique level of stress. But here's what's changing. For decades, the advice for kidney health was simply, don't eat too much salt and drink more water. It was a strategy of avoidance, but the latest research is shifting toward a strategy of activation. Scientists have identified specific phytochemicals and antioxidants that interact with the delicate nephrons, the tiny filtering units, inside your kidneys. We are talking about reducing oxidative stress and improving blood flow to the renal arteries in ways that were previously thought impossible for older adults. Let me walk you through it. First, I need to explain something that honestly still blows my mind every time I think about it. Your kidneys are not just passive filters like the lint trap in your dryer. They are incredibly dynamic, living chemical factories. Every single day, your kidneys process about 200 quarts of blood to sift out about 2 quarts of waste products and extra water. They regulate your electrolytes, control your blood pressure by releasing specific hormones, and even trigger the production of red blood cells. As we age, these tiny filters can become scarred, a process called glomerulosclerosis. Think of it like a fine mesh screen that gradually gets covered in hard mineral deposits and rust. As this happens, your filtration rate drops. However, certain foods provide the raw materials to reduce the inflammation that causes this scarring, essentially giving your kidneys a chance to breathe. Now let's get to the question you clicked on this video for. What are these 4 foods? Which ones are showing up in the clinical trials as the heavy hitters for kidney repair in seniors? The first one is a powerhouse that is often overlooked in the produce aisle: red bell peppers. For years, people focused on green vegetables, but in the world of renal health, red bell peppers are a superfood. The reason is their unique nutrient profile. They are incredibly low in potassium, which is crucial because as kidney function declines, your body can struggle to process excess potassium, but they are exceptionally high in vitamins A, C, and B6, as well as folic acid and fiber. But here is the science that really matters. Red bell peppers contain a specific antioxidant called lycopene. You might have heard of lycopene in relation to heart health or prostate health, but recent studies suggest it plays a massive role in protecting the kidneys from oxidative damage. In a 2025 study published in a leading nutrition journal, researchers found that participants who consumed high levels of vegetable-based antioxidants, like those in red peppers, showed a slower decline in kidney function over a 5-year period. For a senior, this is like putting a protective shield around your nephrons. Moving to our second food, we have to talk about something that might sound simple, but the science behind it is profound: cauliflower. Now, we've all seen cauliflower used as a substitute for rice or pizza crust, but for your kidneys, it serves a much more important purpose. Cauliflower is a cruciferous vegetable, which means it is packed with compounds called indoles, glucosinolates, and thiocyanates. These compounds help the liver neutralize toxins that would otherwise have to be processed by the kidneys. By easing the toxic load on the liver, you are essentially giving your kidneys a much-needed break. Furthermore, cauliflower is a triple threat for kidney health. First, it is a great source of vitamin C and folate. Second, it is rich in fiber, which helps manage blood sugar. And considering that diabetes is the leading cause of kidney failure, this is a critical secondary benefit. Third, and most importantly for seniors, cauliflower can be used to replace high-potassium foods like potatoes or high-phosphorus foods like grains. Phosphorus is another mineral that the kidneys have to work hard to remove, and as we age, high phosphorus levels can lead to calcium being pulled out of our bones, leading to osteoporosis. Replacing a heavy side dish with steamed or mashed cauliflower is one of the easiest silent repairs you can make for your body. The third food on our list is one that truly demonstrates the power of food as medicine: garlic. While we often think of garlic as just a flavor enhancer, in the context of renal health, it should be viewed as a potent anti-inflammatory agent. One of the biggest challenges for kidneys in our 60s and 70s is the impact of high blood pressure. As I mentioned earlier, hypertension is a major driver of kidney damage. Garlic contains allicin, which has been shown in clinical trials to help relax blood vessels and lower systemic blood pressure. But for the kidneys specifically, garlic does something even more impressive. It helps inhibit the production of pro-inflammatory cytokines. Chronic, low-grade inflammation is what leads to the scarring of the kidney tissues I mentioned earlier. By reducing this inflammation, garlic helps preserve the elasticity of the renal arteries. For someone over 60 who might be dealing with stiff arteries, adding fresh garlic to your meals is a fantastic way to support blood flow directly to the kidneys. The key with garlic is the crush and wait rule I've mentioned before. Crush the clove and let it sit for 10 minutes to let the medicinal allicin develop before you heat it up. Finally, the fourth food is one that often surprises people because it feels more like a treat than a treatment: blueberries. In the world of longevity research, blueberries are frequently cited for brain health, but their impact on the kidneys is equally staggering. They are packed with antioxidants called anthocyanins, which give them their deep blue color. These anthocyanins have been shown to protect the kidneys from ischemic injury, which is damage caused by a lack of blood flow. As we age, our circulation can become less efficient, and the kidneys are often the first organs to suffer from microclots, or reduced flow. A study conducted by researchers at a major university found that the specific phytonutrients in blueberries could actually help improve the renal reserve, which is the kidney's ability to handle stress. They also help prevent urinary tract infections, which, if left untreated in seniors, can travel up to the kidneys and cause permanent damage. Now, why is this such a big deal for seniors, specifically? Because the aging kidney undergoes a process called senescence. Just like our skin wrinkles and our hair turns gray, the cells inside our kidneys begin to age. However, unlike some other organs, the kidney has a remarkable capacity to function even when it isn't at 100%, provided we don't overwhelm it. The four foods I've mentioned, red bell peppers, cauliflower, garlic, and blueberries, work together to reduce the workload and the toxic pressure on these aging cells. On top of that, many seniors are on medications that can be hard on the kidneys. Common over-the-counter pain relievers, like NSAIDs, can significantly reduce blood flow to the kidneys if used chronically. By focusing on these specific foods, you are providing your body with a consistent, whole food source of anti-inflammatories that can help you manage your health more naturally, potentially reducing your reliance on substances that might be causing background damage. I want to zoom out for a second and talk about the broader picture of kidney health in the second half of life. For a long time, the medical community treated kidney decline as an inevitable consequence of aging. But the emerging field of renal nutrition shows us that while we can't stop the clock, we can certainly change how our organs respond to it. Imagine your kidneys as a complex water filtration system for a large building. If you never change the filters and you constantly pour harsh chemicals down the drain, the system will eventually fail. But if you provide high-quality cleaning agents and reduce the chemical load, that system can run efficiently for decades longer than expected. Look, I know that changing habits after 60 can feel like a lot of work. We have our favorite recipes and our set routines. But the beauty of this approach is that it isn't about a restrictive, boring diet. It's about addition. It's about adding the crunch of a red pepper to your morning eggs, the creaminess of mashed cauliflower to your dinner, the zest of fresh garlic to your chicken, and the sweetness of blueberries to your yogurt. These aren't just ingredients. They are biological signals that tell your kidneys it's time to repair, not just survive. And we have to address the why behind the specific timing of these benefits. Research suggests that kidney function follows a circadian rhythm, with the filtration rate often dipping during the night. By consuming these supportive foods during your midday or evening meals, you are providing your body with the protective compounds it needs during its most vulnerable hours. This is the kind of targeted, science-backed strategy that goes beyond generic health advice. Now, let's talk about the action plan for getting these into your life without it feeling like a chore. I want to be really clear about something. I'm not a doctor. I'm not suggesting you stop any medical treatments or ignore the advice of your nephrologist. What I am suggesting is that you provide your kidneys with the biological environment they need to succeed. First, the renal refresh bowl. Don't think of these as separate side dishes. Try to create a meal where you combine these elements. A base of cauliflower rice, sautéed with plenty of garlic and chopped red bell peppers, topped with your favorite lean protein, followed by a bowl of fresh blueberries for dessert. This isn't just a meal, it's a flushing protocol for your renal system. Second, watch the hidden salts. You can eat all the red peppers in the world, but if you're also consuming processed meats or canned soups that are loaded with sodium, you're taking one step forward and two steps back. Sodium causes your body to hold on to water, which increases the pressure inside the tiny vessels of your kidneys. Always rinse canned vegetables if you must use them, but fresh or frozen is always the better choice for kidney health. Third, hydration is the carrier wave. These foods work best when they have enough fluid to move through your system. However, for seniors, the thirst mechanism can sometimes become less sensitive. You might not feel thirsty even when your kidneys are crying out for water. Aim for consistent, moderate sips throughout the day rather than chugging large amounts at once. Fourth, the phosphate check. As we age, our kidneys become less efficient at clearing phosphorus. Many processed foods use phosphorus additives as preservatives. By sticking to the whole foods on our list, foods that come from the earth, not a factory, you are naturally avoiding these hidden kidney stressors. Fifth, monitor your lab work. If you start making these changes, pay close attention to your blood work during your next physical. Look at your creatinine levels and your eGFR, estimated glomerular filtration rate. Many seniors find that after several months of consistent, kidney-supportive nutrition, their numbers stabilize or even show slight improvements. This is invaluable information for your doctor. It shows that your lifestyle is actively supporting your clinical outcomes. I want to touch on something that I think is very important for our community: Aging can sometimes feel like a series of losses: loss of energy, loss of mobility, loss of function. But the research into renal repair shows us that we still have immense agency over our internal health. We aren't just at the mercy of our genetics or the passage of time. The decisions you make in the grocery store today translate to the biological data your cells will be using to repair themselves tomorrow. Imagine your kidneys as a garden. If the soil is neglected and the water is contaminated, the plants will wither. But if you provide the right nutrients, the premium soil of red peppers and garlic, the garden can flourish again. These 4 foods are the maintenance crew for your internal filtration system. They work quietly, behind the scenes, reducing the pressure, clearing out the debris, and strengthening the foundation of your health. It's also important to remember that kidney health is intimately connected to heart health and brain health. Your body is one interconnected system. When your kidneys are filtering effectively, your blood pressure is easier to manage. When your blood pressure is managed, your risk of stroke and cognitive decline drops. By focusing on your kidneys, you are actually throwing a protective net over your entire body. I know that for many people in our community, especially those in Black and Hispanic households, there might be a history of kidney issues in the family. You might feel like your path is already set. But I want to tell you that your heritage is a reason for extra care, not a reason for despair. The same science that identifies the risks also identifies the solutions. By being proactive and prioritizing these 4 foods, you are taking a stand for your longevity and your quality of life. Look, I've spent hundreds of hours reading through these clinical reviews because I want to give you the information that truly moves the needle. There is so much noise in the wellness world, so many people trying to sell you detox teas that can actually be dangerous for your kidneys. The truth is much simpler. Your body doesn't need a miracle supplement. It needs the right raw materials. It needs the indoles from cauliflower, the lycopene from red peppers, the allicin from garlic, and the anthocyanins from blueberries. I want you to think about your next trip to the store as a mission. You aren't just buying groceries. You are buying the tools for your own repair. You are making a choice to give your kidneys the support they've earned after 6 or 7 decades of hard work. If there is one thing I want you to take away from this video, it is this: your internal organs are remarkably resilient if you give them what they need. A few simple changes in your diet can lead to real, measurable changes in your health. That isn't a wellness trend. That is the power of nutritional science. If this video helped you or taught you something new, I'd genuinely appreciate it if you'd hit that like button. It helps the algorithm show this to other seniors who might be worried about their kidney health and need this information. And subscribe so you don't miss the next one. I've got more videos coming on circulation, boosting natural energy, and the latest research on aging well, and I'd love to have you along for the journey. Drop a comment down below. I want to hear from you. Have you had your kidney function checked recently? Are you already eating some of these foods? Or is there one you're excited to add to your meals? We are in this together, learning how to navigate the second half of life with strength and clarity. Take care of your body, and I'll see you in the next one.